You guys can share. Are you related?
That's my mom.
Okay, yes. Well, it'll be for both of you then.
Okay.
Yeah. I wish, do you want to, are you comfortable coming up or you want to stay there? It's up to you.
I'm more comfortable here.
Okay, very good. What's your name?
Pat.
Pat, good to meet you, Pat.
I'm Christy.
Christy, good to meet you too. Are you Christy Walker?
Yeah.
You won the PayPal?
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Aren't you glad you bought tickets? Who would you like to hear from?
My brother.
Your brother, okay. All right. So this is your son then? Yes. He's calling, hang on.
So sorry.
That's okay. Whenever he's around, you hear the ringing of bells. And no, the first thing he's wanting me to talk to you about is his little handprints.
Pardon me?
Do you have some old handprints, like the plaster handprints that were his? That's
She's hard of hearing.
okay. If I take, it's okay. Let me see. You want to take the, well, all right, here she comes. If you just want to sit down there. You sit here in my chair.
Pardon me?
No, you sit in my chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's okay.
I'm fine.
No, you can sit there.
You sit.
I'm okay. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, and then Christy, you got a chair there. Okay, so what he was showing me first of all were these handprints. You know how when kids sometimes put their hands on the window and leave fingerprints or leave handprints?
I'm sorry, I am having a hard time hearing you.
It's okay. He's showing me about handprints, like putting his hand on windows, but I see a mold, like making an impression, like a handprint of something. And what he wants me to talk with you about that is that he left a print on your heart. Like there's a handprint that he left on your heart. It's a heart print.
Yes.
Is what he's talking about. And he says he knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that you loved him and that you still do love him. And not death, not anything can stop his love for you, nor can his death indicate that you ever did anything less than love him. And he knows that, and he's really adamant that I tell you that if there was one thing he knew for sure, it was that you love him, that you loved him then and you love him still now. And he's really sure that you hear that and wants you to know that. He shows me a cheeseburger and French fries. Did you used to make cheeseburgers a lot where you melt the cheese on them?
We like to eat.
Did you cook anything he wanted though?
Pardon me?
Did you cook a lot for him, whatever he wanted?
When he was young?
Yeah.
Yes, when he was young all the time.
Yeah, and that's what then he says whatever he wanted, if you could do it, you would. And he knows that, and he's saying again, if it would have been practical, you would have gone to the ends of the earth. So you did everything for him. And he says, thank you, thank you, thank you.
We were very close when he was young.
Yes, and even, he keeps saying, even when miles separated you or emotions or whatever was going on, he always carried that with him. That love was always, always there. And he knows, and he says now he wants you to carry his love with you. Always, always, because it's always there. There's a Jeff or a Jack who's connected to you who he's mentioning. Josh, yes, he's acknowledging him and honoring him. And there's two, do you have two children?
I've had 4.
Okay, but is it 2 girls? You have 2 children? Yeah, he's watching over them too. Your younger one is a little bit ornery sometimes, I think. And your brother says...
It's just like my brother.
That's what I was getting ready to tell you. He says it's just like him.
Yeah.
It's just like him. I know you're Christy, but there's another C like Carly or Carrie.
His daughter, Kristen.
Kristen, yes. He says, send my love to my girl. And please tell her I'm very, very proud of her. Someone in the family is a nurse or is working in healthcare or wants to be a healer or a doctor or something along those lines.
Kristen's going to be a teacher.
I think she'll help a lot of people.
And
a counselor. It's the counselor, yeah. I think that's what she'll end up doing. And let her know that her father is very, very, very proud of her. That he truly is grateful that she's following her heart's call and that she'll help a lot of people. Was there, I know we talked about a car earlier, But do you know if she had been having trouble with her car, or she'd been trying to get more reliable transportation because of her school or because of her work schedule?
Well, she bought a new car right after
He passed, yes. Just let her know he knows about that, and that he guided her choice, and that, you know, he saw her through that for sure. There's a January birthday or anniversary that he's mentioning.
January.
Yeah, he's just honoring that that's his, and you celebrate him still. Had you guys let off balloons for him, or done something with balloons after he passed?
And what?
Balloons. There's a connection with balloons that he's mentioning. Had you been to a birthday party with your children within the past month or so? There's some kind of celebration.
Your children's birthday.
Water balloons? Were they? That's what it was. That's what. Did somebody like pop one as they were blowing them up, and you got really wet? Yes. Yes, he was there. That's exactly what he's talking about. He was with the balloons. Yes. Oh my goodness. There's also a Shay or Sheila or Sharon who's connected with your family. Do you have a friend who's like Sheila or Susan who's still here physically? You may think of it later. What your son says is he wants you to let more friends, reach out more to your friends.
Yes.
You tend to be an island sometimes. And he says you got to let your friends get to support you and to know you too. Butterflies, he sends you those butterflies all the time. So just know that's a sign from him when you see the butterflies. And there's this little, he showed me Oreo cookies, but I think it's like a black and white. Do you have a dog that's black and white? Yeah, he said that dog sees him. So when the dog's, you know, doing that business, it's because she's seeing your brother. It's your brother. It's not nothing. He says, what am I? I'm something. Yes, she's him. And there's these wind chime things too. At your back door, do you have some kind of wind chimes? Yes, your brother knows that. He says you're such a beautiful, everything you do is beautiful. You're very creative, and he's honoring that for sure.
She's very crafty.
Yes, he says that, and that's spirit working through you, and he is really honoring that for sure. I know you've got with the lung thing. When he was born, did he have something, either where he had pneumonia when he was little?
When he was little, he was very ill.
Yes.
Quite some time.
Yes, and he is honoring and remembering that, you know, that you saw him through that, and it was a tough go at first.
Yes, it was.
And there were a lot of battles.
Yes, it was.
But he says it's worth it because there was love. And now there's love, and in the end there's always love.
Yes.
So he's honoring that. Had your son been making money lately, or you paid him to do a job where he's been saving up for something?
My daughter
has been working and keeping track of a budget and her money. Yeah, she's going to be good with that. Your brother just says he's real proud of her. She's doing a good job of balancing things. I don't know if she'd gotten a purse recently or gotten her own little wallet. Yep, he was with her when, yep.
did for her birthday.
Yep, and he was with her. He's talking about that. She's a hoot too, he says. Well, she's honest, and that sometimes is it's a good thing, but she does call it like she sees it, he says, which again is a little bit like him. Had you had some, like a sore throat or some kind of strep throat within the past couple of months? Or something where you're having drainage? He's honoring that. He says it's because you're having some frustration, not having enough time for yourself, and you're not speaking that you need that. So he says as soon as you say, I just need a minute to myself, this will repair and correct itself. I know it sounds kind of silly, but it's true. He says just speak up for yourself and speak up for some time you need alone. Look, yeah, preach it, woman, preach it. Yeah, she does. She needs to speak for herself. Because you have so many angels with you, and you are so worthy of that love and tenderness that you give. You just got to let it come back in, because it's yours for the taking if you'll just receive it. There's an October birthday or anniversary.
My October birthday.
Yeah, so your son celebrates that for sure. You have to quit keeping track of numbers, though. He says, you just be in the moment. That's what it is. But yeah, he celebrates your birthday, and it is. He says, Mom, you just get better and better. You just get better and wiser and more peace. There's just more peace all the time. Yeah, there's a Mary There's a lady with an M name who's with your son in the spirit world.
Yeah, what?
Who has an M name like Mavis or Mamie. Yeah, with your son.
His grandmother.
Yeah, they're together. They're together.
Yes.
And she takes him. She doesn't need to take care of him because he can take perfectly good care of himself. But she loves him, and she loves you too. Your mom says she's always with you. There's a little yellow. Do you have yellow finches that come to your house?
Yes.
Those are from your mom. Those are her sign to you that she's with you. She sends lots of birds, but she shows me the yellow ones because they really catch your eye. Yeah, those are from her too. There's a lady with a P name, as in Patricia or Pat.
Mine, Pat.
You're Pat, and then is there someone else in your family, a Phyllis?
My brother's wife is Patty.
Patty, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just be at peace with that. He says he's found peace with it. It took him some time in spirit, but he says it's just, it is what it is. Okay, so maybe peace is a small or a tall order. I'm shooting for gold here, people. Going for gold. Okay, so maybe not peace, maybe.
We'll try.
Do our best.
Maybe just neutral. Like he said, it just is. It just is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, yes. So you don't have to love her, but don't separate her from love either.
No.
And that's all he's asking.
He loved her.
He does. And there was what he understood to be love between them. And that's the thing too, is that, you know, from an outside point of view, sometimes things look different than what they are, you know. So he just says, trust him, he's okay with that. And more importantly, wants you to be okay with that too. Someone had a surgery, but they didn't finish the surgery. Had you started to have a procedure, but then once they, did your son have that? Where they?
When he was young, he had surgery.
Did they change, once they got in and saw, did they do the surgery differently than what they thought they would? Okay, and he's just talking about course correcting. See, you can always change your mind. He says you can change your mind about how you see her. Once you see the situation differently, like once you see the situation from his perspective, maybe you can see a little bit more love and a little more peace. Just like when the surgeons got in and actually saw what was happening in his body, they had to make some adjustments. It's like now you can see her a little differently and make some adjustments too. And that's important. The long and short of it is he's got a beautiful daughter as a result of that, and that's more than enough for him to call it good for sure. There's an R like Ryan. Robert, yeah.
Grandfather.
Yeah, he's with your son too, just honoring that connection. Had your son been fishing, or was there a connection with fishing with him lately? Yeah, your brother was with him. He says he went with him just to have fun. I asked him, I said, well, were you trying to help him learn patience? No, he doesn't know how to teach patience. Your brother doesn't. And your son doesn't have any, so he wouldn't try. Just, no, let him go. Oh yes, your brother is so much at peace. In every aspect of his life. He says no stone has been unturned as far as his life. He's really found peace in every area of his life. From physical to emotional to relationships, just it's all peace. He's unturned all those stones of doubt and fear, and it's all love there. And he wants you to be able to do that for him too. There's so much love, so much love. There's a hawk too, he says. I know we talked about hawks a moment ago, but you've been seeing hawks lately too.
I saw one this morning.
It's him. That's his sign. Yeah, and he had to show you this morning so I could talk about it now so you would know that it was him. But he's been with you the whole time. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.